Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. Collab, hopeful goodness. A little bit of Autodidact. And other half brewing, Slurpin Spaghettis. Yeah, this is a double IPA with Vera, Eldorado, Lupo Max, Citra, and Simcoe hops, coming to 8% alcohol by volume. I went on a little trip, met up with my boy Vinny. We hit up a couple breweries. Our last stop was Autodidact, and they didn't have this anymore. They released it as one of their quickest selling beers. I think their beers are fantastic, so I would say it's because their beers are fantastic. But when you do a collab with Other Half, they tend to fly a little bit farther off the shelves. Lucky enough, my journey was with my boy Vinny. He grabbed me a can. Here we go. Label-wise, it's what Autodidact does. Negative space in a picture. I could get angry at it, but I don't think I ever will. Because that is just great art design. It honestly is. Less is more sometimes. Yeah. 8% hazy. Looks the part. Kind of looks weird on camera, I'm telling you right now. When I look at this through my glasses, it's got a little bit of a richer orange core, a little bit more milky edges. When I put it down like this, it actually looks like oxidized. I assure you that's not the case, at least from what I see. So just to give you a little peek inside, when I do a beer review, I'm staring directly at my camera. There's a little monitor off to my, like the camera monitor, the thing that flips when your cameras. That's what I stare at. So it's usually, I strive myself to have it color accurate the best I can, being the color grading nerd I am. But yeah, I think that one doesn't show its true colors. But from my perspective, looks like a nice hazy IPA. Index finger, off-white head, rich orange core with a little bit more milky edges. It's not like super crazy, insane turbidity. You probably see my finger kind of through that sucker. But we're in the ballpark. Let's get nose. Okay. Not much of a nose there. The can smells a little nicer. Maybe because I have that glass a little too packed there, but yeah, not much. I mean, citrus vibes. Citrus vibes. Citrus vibes. Done. Not like a precursor to big sweetness or bittering or anything. A little bit of citrus vibes done and done. Honestly, kind of a letdown for a double IPA aromatic. You know, usually when you're double IPAs, I want to be paying for those ABVs. You know, I want my 8s to drink like 10s, I want my 10s to drink like 50s, and I want my 3s to drink like 6s. I don't know. You know what I mean, I think. And aromatically, this one's leaving me a little bit wanting. The citrus on the nose, but not like at a double IPA level of impact. Let's dive in. Cheers. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm getting here tastes sweetness. So I'm getting a decent amount of residual sweetness here. Under attenuated, a decent amount of sweetness, even above what you'd expect at 8% ABV. Now, I will say this: there's not a big bittering component on here. I didn't think there was going to be New England style hazy IPA, Other Half collab, but let me close this because it's probably reflecting in my glasses better. It's just it's a generic bittering, and then really it is a kind of candied citrus because of residual sugar. It's a kind of candied citrus on the other end of things. This can be, give you guys an idea of time and dating and all that fun stuff. And it usually stamped there. Oh, here it is. 8:15. We are at 8:22, so a week out. It's not a negative beer. It's not like I'm sitting here going, man, I need to throw this thing down the sink. Or I'm in the shadow here. We don't have running water out the door. It's not that. It just lacks a wowness and a pizzazz that I'm accustomed to with both Other Half and Autodidact. I will say that. Other Half, you know, if you've watched my YouTube channel throughout the years, I had a very up and down, ebb and flow relationship with Other Half. You know, hazies were fun and they were a little weird. And we're talking a short period of time leading up to right before the pandemic. And then, honestly, for me, then they finally just locked in like crazy with their hazies. to the point where I think they make some of the best, still make some of the best in the game. Throw in the, X factor of I can get their stuff off a shelf everywhere at price points equal to, if not sometimes slightly cheaper than the brewery. You're singing my song there. So Other Half is a staple in my refrigerator. So I'm a big fan of them. You know what I mean? Like I said, might had a little bit of up and downs with them at the beginning. Now they're just like, I pick a Other Half can off the shelf. I check the date because they can't turn up around me, and if it's relatively fresh, um, I'm paying a very nice price for what I would say would be a premium maker of the styles. If I get a stinker, and it happens from time to time, it's very few and far between. It is the exception, not the norm. Much is the case with Autodidact. Much less exposure to them, even though they're close to me, and I like to visit their brewery and I get their stuff off shelves. I've had a couple stinkers, maybe slight percentage more than the Other Half, but the volume in Other Half does is the impressive part. Autodidact, very small brewery, only been down around a couple years. They throw out some of the more funner Hazie. So when I saw this collab go down, even though I was like, I probably won't get that in. I might visit on Sunday. They released it on a Friday. I'm like, it's not going to be there. I had Vinny hook me up. I'm glad I got to try it. Glad I got to review it. Because it teaches us the nature of fallibility. Is it even a word? In brewing, in zero way will this steer me not to go in the direction of Other Half and or Autodidact. But to have a week old beer come off, the best way I can explain it is very sharp. We talk about barrel aged beers a lot like this, but it can go the same thing with any beer. What I'm tasting here is sweetness, some hops, and then I can check out the mouthfeel. Like, everything is singular here. Nothing here is cohesive, and that's probably the most kind of like meh part of the beer, is that it could just be a little bit more in every aspect. But the way this beer kind of comes off, so a little bit sweeter than what you'd expect from an 8%, even an 8% IPA. Mouth feels a little low. Citrus is there, but it's very generic. Bittering is there, but probably a skosh lower than it needs to be. And I think if this beer has all of those flavor points, there's a fly flying around right now, and I would kill the shit out of it, but I want to finish the review first. And all those flavor points and all the what's in this beer could be there, and if it was just constructed in a slightly different way, I think it would be a home run. For me, it's just missing a mark. Let's call it like an E5. You got on base, but might have been an out, but we're fine with it. We're cool with it. We'll finish it. We'll finish the inning. Why am I throwing baseball analogies out? I don't know. There you go. Not a bad beer by any stretch, but yeah, just missing that level I expect from both breweries. All right, let's talk about it. Is it one of the better double IPAs I've had? Like, no. Value and availability. I'm assuming this is 20-ish plus a 4-pack, hence the collab. Brewery only, like I said, just went same day, and leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like breweries trying to do good things, kudos for Other Half for doing a collab with Autodidact, smaller brewery. Fantastic, do that, and fucking good on Autodidact for doing a collab with Other Half. It goes both ways there. That's not a singular road. That's not like, I'm going to do a collab with Other Half. That makes us awesome. Not saying that's what those guys think. The Rons, I don't think they think that. I know they don't think that. But it's also the double-edged sword. It's like, if you don't serve the best IPA in the history of mankind, I'm not saying you look bad. It's just, you wish you came off a little bit better. I wish this came off a little bit better, but I'm glad they did it nonetheless, and I can't wait for the next one. So there you go. That's my review in the books. Hopefully you enjoyed. Master Beers, you want to check me out in the social media stuff. Beer Massey for podcasting stuff. Autodidact. Other Half. Have you been to Autodidact? I have had several times. I implore you, Morris Plains area, New Jersey. Check them out. Very cool brewery. I will say this in every Autodidact beer review I do. If you like black IPA, they're dark horse. Like, kind of second to none. Like, it's that good. Next time I have it on. If you're in the area, just go. But if they have it on when you're in the area, drink it. Other half, have you been to any of their 463,732 breweries? If you had, let me know down in there. Or if you've had this beer. That's the thing I want to talk about. Have you had this beer? Have you had this beer, and what are your thoughts about it? Let's talk about it down there because I'm curious your thoughts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you enjoyed a nice, clavish beer right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, all.